Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Corvus Conix, and welcome to YACC, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I talk about it. This week's game is Chip 'n Dale, The Rescue Rangers, and it was developed and published by Capcom in 1991. But the version that I'm playing is the Disney Afternoon Collection that was released in 2017, and also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know. But first, a little backstory. I never owned this game as a kid. I always seemed to be playing it at a friend's house or something, and frankly, I don't think I had money to even buy games back then. But I was recently talking to a streamer called Svedlund, and he used to speedrun this game a little while back, I guess, and he played it on stream, and I watched him do it, and it's really entertaining. So I asked him, like, should I make a pod about this, make an episode? And he said yes. So here is where I am right now, I guess. So this game starts with the neighbor kid losing her kitten, and the rescue rangers get this information. So they are the do-gooders of this universe, so they basically do stuff like this all the time. So they're anthropomorphic animals that wear clothes, and they do good stuff, basically. So you start out in a back alley where there are like mechanical dogs and trash cans and flowers and whatnot, and you can pick up boxes. And if you press down on the D-pad, you can actually hide in boxes. It's like a little shield if enemies walk into you, which is really useful when you in the game basically coming up. So you can throw the boxes in left to right and up, and this is a mechanic that becomes important when you fight the bosses, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So there are different collectibles in this game. You can collect icons of flowers, I think they are, and there are some like an icon of star, and there's nuts which replenish some of your life. I think it's 1 heart, and you have like 3 hits, 3 hearts before you fall off the screen and die, I guess. So you traverse this back alley and you climb up a telephone pole, and then you get introduced to one of the power-ups or team members of the Rescue Rangers called Zipper, and he's a fly, and he grants you temporarily invisibility or invulnerability, I guess is the correct word. And he also take out some enemies, and I think there's like a 3 or 4 second of this power-up being in effect before he flies off or something. So you traverse the power line, and there are rats for some reason and bees, and you avoid them, and you enter like a satellite dish, kind of like a lab, and you fight a robot with like many arms, and it's a really easy boss. It shoots like lightning. Yeah, you have like a red rubber ball that you throw at it. You just throw it up at it. It's like, I think it's like a light bolt. You hit it like a couple of times, like 4 or 5 times maybe, and then pass out. So I saw a cool thing that a speedrunner did. He actually tosses the ball and he grabs it midair and tosses it again, and it's like a faster way of doing it. Yeah, well, it's a speedrun, duh. But yeah, it's a cool trick. I didn't even know this as a kid. I thought the ball actually had to like be like into like a standstill or something before you could pick it up, but you can apparently grab it in there, which is a really cool trick. And you traverse these different levels or zones that are marked from A to G to J, and basically the second level, I guess, is B. Then you have to turn off like water valves. There are some acid throwing rats, and they're annoying because they throw acid at you and they run off the screen like I don't know, really annoying. And then you're in a kitchen area and you jump over like hot pots, and there's some flying bees that come at you, and also really annoying. Maybe I'm bad at platformers, I guess. And then there is some like aliens that they kind of copycat you, so they look like you. I think they were in the series. There's also a boss on this level where there's like an alien ship that drops small green aliens down, if that makes sense, and you beat him with the red ball again, the red ball of death. And then you have like the sea level where like a library, and there are kangaroos with tennis rackets. I don't know what the thing about that was. I don't think they were in the series, but whatever. And there are some annoying birds and whatnot, and some platforming on top of like fan blades, and basically traverse the level. And when this level ends, there's actually not a boss on it. You have like a bonus stage where you collect like crates and things that are in crates, I guess. So the bonus level are between every like letter level, if that makes sense. Then you have the level D, where you are in a toy store and there are fake Jack in the Boxes basically. some switches that you have to press, and the boss is a big toy robot basically, and the E level is outside, like in a forest area. We have some fences and cocoons hanging from trees and whatnot, and there are some bugs, and you get into like a boat, you destroy some blocks, you pick up like a hammer, you use the like rubber ball on the boss again. I think it's a fish that shoots lightning. It's like all these kind of weird things. I don't think they were in the show, but whatever. So I'm not going to talk about all the levels, but you basically beat the last boss. I don't know, like I think it's just called Fat Cat or something. It's kind of confusing also, because I watched this series as a kid, like obviously on the Disney Channel or whatever, and all the names and dialogue are in Swedish, right? So I was kind of confused, like, well, all these kind of characters like Gadget and Zipper, Monty, Chip and Dale. It boggles my mind that I never thought that there was, like, as a dumb kid, I guess, that this show was made in Sweden, right? No, it wasn't. It was dubbed in Swedish. So I thought that was funny. So all the names didn't make sense to me. And as a kid, I couldn't even read English. So there is a story in this game, but as a kid, you always like press A or start just to skip all the dialogue. As an adult, I know why they're on this quest now. And I didn't really get that as a kid. So gameplay. Traverse the levels and beat the main bad guy in the end. Control, X jumps, square picks up boxes, and if you press down on the D-pad, you duck inside the box. There's like a little funny animation where like you have eye holes to look out of. You can do the same thing with like concrete blocks for some reason, I don't know why. And also the D-pad moves the character, and the R1 button brings up the filters and the borders and scan lines and all the effects that you can add. And it also has a nice save state feature where you can save anywhere and just pick up where you left. And that's a nice feature, because normally back in the day, these games were like, if you switch off the console, your game was lost basically. And some cartridges had like battery saves, but once the battery runs out, you couldn't save anymore. You have to change the battery. So this is a nice feature with save states. Sound the music. Harumi Fujita made the music, and it's really good. It has its chiptune kind of vibe to it. It's very chirpy and happy, and I like that. So in conclusion, I wrote yes. This game is not so challenging. It's just challenging enough, and it's kind of short. You can beat it in like 30 to 40 minutes if you know what you're doing. And a speed run can be around 10 to 9 minutes. Also watch a couple of speedruns, including a Swede called, Andy Swede. He actually has the world, or had the world record. I don't know if he has it anymore, but it's this crazy run where it's kind of like clenching it, if that makes sense. Like, oh my god, and everything goes like according to plan in the end, and he's kind of confused himself that he made it, because the run was kind of not perfect to begin with, but yeah. So anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.